All right, Miss South Africa, Shudufadzho Musida is committed to destigmatizing mental health issues. Now, she's pledged solidarity with those affected and hosts Mindful Mondays, a weekly live discussion about the issue on Instagram. This is in partnership with the South African Depression and Anxiety Group. Miss South Africa joins us now. Shudufadzho, good evening, and thank you so much for your time. It was interesting to me this week just seeing the different responses that people had, especially to the killing of 15-year-old Lufuno. But you yourself were deeply affected by it, and part of it is because you can very much relate with being of school-going age and also being bullied.
Yes, good evening, and thank you so much for having me. I think the passing of Lufuno triggered a lot of emotions in me. I remember I woke up the following day after she passed, and I remember seeing the video, and what struck me the most was the fact that she didn't fight back, which proved to me that this had been an ongoing thing. And when I saw that, it just reminded me of my own childhood experiences where I was bullied as well.
And do you want to talk to us a little bit about what happened to you?
My bullying went on for about 6-7 years, but Lufuno's video and her passing just reminded me of one specific incident. I had gone to one of my friend's house and we were playing, and there was this boy. He was about 12, 13. I was 11 or 12, and I don't know what happened, and then I remember being beaten up by him and having the people there. My friend said nothing, and then having the other people there cheering the guy on as he kicked my ribs. I remember having to go home and pretending like nothing happened in front of my mother, but I was in pain for about a week because it was really, really painful. But also having to always be strong, because I think society tells us that you have to be strong. You have to endure the pain because pain is often associated with strength. I remember that incident so vividly because I didn't fight back. I remember apologizing in the beginning, but I stopped apologizing because I knew it wouldn't stop. So watching that video triggered so many emotions because Lufuno didn't fight back, because you could see that she had been going through that for a while. So that her death has been very triggering for me, and has just ignited the fire in me to still fight to destigmatize mental health, because bullying stays with you into adulthood. You end up being the source of your own bullying even when it stops. So we have to not be silent, because silence is complacency, and it's time for us to combat bullying across the country and not be silent about this death, and then just try our best to see, or to show that bullying should not be normalized in our society as it has been now.
Ironically, Shudufadzho, part of how I even ended up just coming across what you had posted on Instagram is because I was also looking at how you have been exposed to an incredible amount of cyberbullying, especially since taking up your reign as Miss South Africa. What has that been like for you?
In all honesty, I try to not take anything personally. I've had my own incidences of cyberbullying, and I try my best not to take it personally, because I just believe that it's a reflection of the people that are talking, not a reflection of me. But with this particular incident with Lufuno, I found myself sitting in a position where I have people on social media bullying me into speaking out about bullying, not considering the fact that I've been outspoken about the fact that I am a victim of bullying. So surely I'm triggered by this ordeal. It was a very interesting time, which is why I chose to speak on Instagram, because Instagram has become a safe space for me, and I decided to speak out there because I shared my own incident privately, because the moment was about Lufuno and what she had gone through. And a friend of mine was like, you need to share this. You have this platform, this huge platform, where if you share your own story, people will realize that it's not a selective few that go through bullying. We go through bullying on a daily basis. So Lufuno's death has shown how bullying is such a prevalent issue in our society, and how, in as much as it happens to children, it can also happen to adults, and it's time for us to combat it.
It's interesting because I remember while you were still part of the finalists for Miss South Africa, one of the issues you were speaking about even then was that of being bullied in some ways, people either making comments on how you look or how, you know, just your body and all sorts of other things that were incredibly inappropriate. So when you look at that and the impact that has on one's mental health, and you being an advocate for mental health, how important is it for you to be able to do that?
I think when I look at all those things that happen on social media, the comments about my body, the comments about me being Miss South Africa, I often wonder if people realize that I'm human. And then I think to myself that I'm Miss South Africa at a time like this where it's quite necessary for me to speak out on mental health. I'm an advocate of mental health, but at the same time, I'm a person that deals with mental health. But I believe that my role as Miss South Africa is now more important than ever. And in as much as I've overcome so many things, but it's time for me to help those that are struggling know that it's okay to not be okay. You don't have to be me, or you don't have to be whoever you need to be to struggle, but it's okay to not be okay. You're not alone. I'm with you at all times, because bullying and mental health are issues that have been prevalent in my life for as long as I can remember. But I can use my ordeals to actually show people that it's okay to not be okay, and that as Miss South Africa, I'm with you and we can combat this together.
How would you say you have been able to cope with all of this pressure, and perhaps just some of the tools that you've learned from your own experiences?
I think I've been able to cope because I see a psychologist. I've been blessed enough to be able to get help, and I've been blessed enough with a good support system that encourages me to get help. So I find that the talking therapy helps me quite a bit, but also Mindful Mondays has been a platform for me to just be open, you know, and the more we talk about mental health, the more we normalize the conversation, the more we heal as a collective. And I find myself every single Monday on Mindful Mondays learning so much about myself, learning so much about coping mechanisms, journaling, speaking to other people. I know there are issues of accessibility and affordability in this country, but it's in the small self-help tips that each expert from the SADC team brings to the table that can help those people, even in remote areas where we don't have psychologists and psychiatrists. It starts by us as a collective practicing kindness. I say a little bit of kindness goes a long way. So someone being kind, someone saying, I'm here for you, goes a long way, especially with mental health, because all people want to know is that they're not alone. And I think that's what COVID has brought to the forefront, is that we are a global community, and we are all in this together. We need to heal together. In as much as we are focusing on healing physically, we need to heal mentally too. But we can only do that if we are kind to one another, and we do it as a collective.
Shudufadzho, I certainly hope that you are still going to run for president one day.
I will. I've received so much support, and I'm really, really appreciative of it. But then it just shows where us as a society are going, because the thought of having a female president, the thought of someone as young as me saying I want to be president was not even a thing before. Even thinking about it would make you shake. But now it's a huge possibility, and I'm going to work towards it.
All right. Well, we certainly look forward to seeing more of the work that you're going to be doing, especially in the space around mental wellness. Miss South Africa, Shudufadzho Musida.